Okay, everybody, listen up. Just a quick reminder that you've all been roomed on this matter, okay?
Hey, are we on a secure bridge right now?
Yeah, I did lock it down.
Okay, also, Paul, I know that you want to talk about this at earnings, so let's get cracking. We've only got about a month to go here, everybody.
Okay, let's give it a roll.
Now, in marketing, we have some really strong ideas on how to bring the magic of Moore's Law to every aspect of business at Intel. Now, to coincide with the 32-nanometer launch, we're totally going to reset our internal operations and focus on smallness. Let me show you what I'm thinking. I'm going to draw your attention to our new shrink campaign. And as you can see there, our new tagline is less is more. And this is also a great opportunity, I think, to really simplify things for our consumers. We have thousands of Intel brands. People are so confused by it. So we're going to simplify everything and say we're just going to have one brand. And that brand is going to be Atom. Atom server, Atom laptops, Atom devices. So here's our focus. We're going to relaunch Intel with the shrink campaign. Local physical scale reduction program means 50% size reduction, $14 million in savings, and a single product brand.
Sean, do you have something to add?
All of these things are doable. We can make substantial progress in our competitive battles. Doing those three things, they're all achievable. All of them are fertile ground for opportunity for us.
Thanks, Sean. And I know that we're making sure that we practice what we preach here. So, to keep things short, Jimmy, you're up next.
Thanks, Roberta. Let me tell you what we're doing in TMG. Within LTD, they have been experimenting. They found that 30-minute meetings are much more efficient. So we're doing sort of effective meetings too, if you like. And we're going to 30-minute meetings across the board in TMG starting next week.
By 2011, we're going to cut meeting times again down to 15 minutes.
Now our task in the coming few months is to educate everybody and make sure that everybody knows it.
Right on, Willie. And, you know, in the fab, we're also going to do change to the attire that people have. The new bunny suits are going to be much tighter fitting. I want to warn you before I show you. Let me tell you why we're doing the suits this way. We're actually going to double the number of tools on the floor. That's going to mean much narrower aisles. We want to make sure that the fabric on the materials doesn't snag as they walk past. And the thing I like about it most is this really makes it much easier to visually identify each of your co-workers.
I agree with you. I really like it. So let me take over now if I can.
Please.
As you mentioned, we're shrinking the tools on the fab floor, but we're also going to shrink the cubicles as well. And we've hired a designer to help us, and we're moving to what she calls and what we are now calling hyper compression. She has designed a lot of small spaces in the past. She's done things like polling booths where you go vote. She has done phone booths. She has done the bathrooms on airplanes. Our cubes now are 3 panels. They're going to move to 2 first, and then eventually we're going to move it to just a 1-panel square cube.
What's after 1 by 1?
So what's the next step?
Yep.
Stacking. So, smaller cubicles, smaller toilets, and it makes sense that we have smaller computers too. For the next IT refresh, we're going to swap out our laptops for netbooks, and in 2012, the netbooks will be replaced by smartphones. And ultimately, what we're going to go to is fully embedded computers.
Embedded? What do you mean by that?
It's exactly what I said. You can see an X-ray shot of it there. Intel literally inside. Okay, so I'm done, and let me hand it over here to Gladys, and she's going to give us the HR update.
Well, as you just heard, our workspaces are getting smaller, smaller cubes, smaller factories, fewer bathrooms. The most important thing we need going forward is to change our hiring policy.
Wait a minute, are you talking about smaller people?
Absolutely, we need just as many people, we just need them smaller. As you can see here, we plotted the average height of employees over time. It's going in the wrong direction. We must turn this around, and change will have to start at the top.
So that's why Craig retired.
Yep, he was just too tall. And Louis Burns and Andy Bryant don't know it yet, but they will be right behind him. On the other hand, Mooley here is just delighted.
Great. You are free to take it to Paul. It's okay. Yes.
Hold on. If we keep going, though, at this rate, Moore's Law will only allow us to hire, what, people 3 feet or shorter?
Hey, we can't possibly keep that pace forever. I just don't think a 3-foot-high workforce is possible.
What you want to do is use that as a challenge, a grand challenge for our company to be able to continue that.
I agree, Paul, and you know, I just realized the other really cool thing about small people They eat a lot less. So I've been doing some quick math here. If we apply shrink and Moore's Law to our meeting policy, within a decade we'd have meetings down to just 2 minutes.
You mean I can do 30 meetings every hour? I don't think so. What I think is better about the shrink thing is if we apply it to our work week, Moore's Law means we'll all be working an hour a week within 8 years.
And, by the way, best of all, if we apply Moore's Law to our retirement policy, our next CEO is going to have to retire when he or she is 15 years old. Eventually, we're going to have a toddler running this company.